I would like to ask you about computer science was built depend on the simulation between human functions and at the same time artificial intelligence as a field from computer science already defined depend on the simulation of function of human beings. So my question, did you find verses from the Holy Quran define the relationship between information technology or computer science and the human beings?
If you noted, in the beginning of my talk, I said, Quran is not a book of science, S-C-I-E-N-C-E. It's a book of signs, S-I-G-N-S. There's a lot of information that's there in the Quran. If you ask me, does the Quran says 2 plus 2 is equal to 4? I don't know any verse in the Quran which says 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. That does not mean 2 plus 2 is not equal to 4. So everything of science is not there in the Quran, but whatever Quran has said, there is not a single verse of the Quran which goes against established science. So Quran is not a book of science, but everything what is mentioned about science is 100% perfect. You ask him about computer science, and if I have to link it with computer, I do believe that though computer science says that trying to get an artificial intelligence, but Allah's creation of the human being is far superior than the computer. And there have been many a times competition between human beings and the computer. And if you have heard of the famous mathematician from India, Shakuntala Devi, she had a competition with the fastest computer, and they gave an equation which was very long, and she defeated the computer with, I think, 10 or 20 seconds. So the human being, what Allah has made the God-given computer, is far superior than a normal computer. But when you're talking about maths, let me link it the closest we can think about, a computer and intelligence, that can you think that the Quran is computer coded, for example? The basis of mathematics was first propounded by Aristotle, who said that every statement can either be true or false. So the foundation of mathematics is on the statement of Aristotle, every statement can be true or false. So one person came and asked the question, what if this statement is false? Every statement can be true or false. What if this statement is false? Whole mathematics collapsed. Then they came up with a rule that whenever you say something, it either meaning-wise or mentioning-wise. Meaning-wise or mentioning-wise. You say something either meaning-wise or mentioning-wise. Just to give you a small example, that does the Quran contain any contradictions? I am telling that Quran contains contradiction. Yes, Quran contains. Quran contains ikhtilaf. Open the Quran, Surah Nisa, chapter number 4, verse number 82 says, أَفَلَا يَدَّبُّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِندِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. Do not the unbelievers, do you not ponder the Quran with care? Had it been from anyone besides Allah, there would have been many contradictions. The word contradiction is there in the Quran. Does the Quran contain contradiction, yes or no? Mentioning wise, yes. Meaning wise, no. Mentioning wise? The Quran says, أَفَلَا يَدَّبُّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِندِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. Do they not consider the Quran with care? Had it been from anyone besides Allah, there would have been contradictions. Many contradictions. So now, meaning wise we know there is no contradiction, not a single. But mentioning wise there is. That means meaning-wise the Quran is right, mentioning-wise the Quran is no. Even mentioning-wise Quran is not wrong. Why? It says ikhtilafan kaseera, many contradictions. You read the full Quran, the word contradiction is only once. So even mentioning-wise the Quran is not wrong. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken care that mentioning-wise there is only one. So meaning-wise there is no contradiction. We know that. But if someone wants to attack the Quran and prove it wrong, mentioning wise also they cannot do it. Quran says that zulumat is not like nur, darkness is not like light. Meaning-wise, it's correct. Now you're talking about mathematical code. So today, if we analyze the Quran with computer, it is impossible for a human being to write a book which is meaning-wise correct and mentioning-wise also correct with so many different messages. So this word, the glorious Quran, this book, the glorious Quran, cannot be from a human being, has to be from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you put the Quran to the test of computer, even a computer to create this would be impossible.